the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Mpanifo de ato edwa sɛ ewiase sɛ owie efonsa ɛyɛ na watumi ahwɛ wɔn so deɛ me no kasa deɛ sɛ ukopie mu ɛwɔ Ghana mmarahyɛ badwafi a ɛnya adeɛ sɛ asomdwie etimi ɛwɔ hɔ ne nyinaa ɛyɛ abansema na Kingsford Bagbin decision bi a oteki sɛ nka ɔde ha NPP amanyɔkuo no na me no kasa deɛ Bagbin etimi etwa ne ho a ɔno ankasa na fidie a osumuye no abansema na Kingsford Bagbin etimi aba betom afei deɛ ato apachew a me no kasa deɛ Bagbin pachew na ɛne sɛ yɛbɛkae a abansema na Kingsford Bagbin etimi de ruling by say we declare seat maako for vacant eno enam so ema majority leader Afenyomaken etabri no de no kokopie mu e Supreme Court ema Supreme Court nso e overturn Bagbin ruling no na yebɛkae a eno nam so ema Bagbin etimi suspend parliament indefinitely a me no kasa yi majority ne kra krata de akwa akoma no say onya na won emra hye bedwafie because nyuma bebre ho a was one etimi eye a yenim se Bagbin etimi agi Supreme Court rate no e di atum afi di obinim de baaye Bagbin eda sore a o say Supreme Court rate na won e de baaye no parliament ensan emfa nkokopie mu e wo Supreme Court a ade a aba a watimi agi atum awie no afi de Bagbin se ono ankasa ne kan osan eboa onyintumu na anyintumu kyena entiamfa rate no ensan enkonkopie mu e wo Supreme Court eno nam so ema yetimi e de rate no esan ekokopie mu e wo Supreme Court afei yesan eda sore ya aban semana Kingsford Bagbin etimi enam Thaddeus sorry so etimi asa akofale application wo Supreme Court over earlier decision by the Apex Court no a edeba betu edwa se ni ruling no a otimi edeba betu edwa no on suspend no abansema na Kingsford Bagbin so ama enam Thaddeus sorry so afale application e wo Supreme Court say Supreme Court decision no a oteki no enya ade say the legislature no ebetimi agiatum because legislature no so believe say one powers no one powers a ejina one enaso to the extent say judiciary no entimi detect emfa ma omunti ade say one so e de akwa akopie mu e wo Supreme Court na abansema na Kingsford Bagbin because of empeprehunti o take that decision no wentimi enya abotre ade say sa Thaddeus sorry ene na lawyer for a one ekokofa omo no ade say one fana one ekokofa omo one ekofa one as legal private practitioners say one enkonko ginamu ema parliament na ansana parliament enso ebetimi ateki any legal issue bia e wo se etimi ekokopie mu e wo attorney general ho ansana attorney general etimi approve ansana etimi atua this private practitioners inso eka na eno na abansema na Kingsford Bagbin etimi akwa carried Ghana din almost by 30,000 Ghana cedis a me no kasa entimi ankwa ankopie mu ewo yewura Godfred Jeboa dame ho na eyesa abansema na Kingsford Bagbin enso etimi aye so sen a wa breachi emra no na yewura Godfred Jeboa dame ebe twena so anase odebe chen me no kasa die aye apacha na yenko tie.
And it talking about the speaker wanted to ask for money to be given to a lawyer. And I think people are putting this up now because it appears that the speaker is preparing to go to the Supreme Court, as we know. Speaker Bagbin has responded that the service of the Supreme Court processes on him was illegitimate and therefore he's returned the service. And so he's preparing to get a lawyer, as it were, to go to the court. So people are publishing this again. It says, request for approval to procure the services of an external solicitor to support Parliament and the parliamentary services through the application of a single source method of procurement. We make reference to a letter. At the first board meeting of 5th board held on Thursday, 8 December 2022, the board could not approve the request to use the single source procurement method to engage Messrs. Sorry at Law as an external solicitor to support Parliament and the parliamentary service on a retainer of 5,000 cedis and a specific fee for the conduct of constitutional cases in the Supreme Court at a fee not exceeding 300,000 cedis. The board noted that since the Attorney General is the principal legal advisor to the government, the board is of the considered opinion that the parliamentary services should continue to use the services of the Attorney General in all legal matters. We count on usual cooperation. Now, this letter is coming up because Mr. Bagbin has sued, and it appears that the name of the lawyer entered on the suit is a private lawyer, and they are looking. People are beginning to look. How is Parliament going to pay the lawyer? Because public procurement told Speaker Bagbin that we cannot approve for use to use private lawyers and use the taxpayers' money to pay. The Attorney General is the principal legal advisor to the government. The Office of the Speaker is part of the government. The Attorney General ought to defend the Office of the Speaker. That's why we all, as taxpayers, pay the Attorney General. Speaker Bagbin cannot hire his own lawyer. If he hires his own lawyer, he has to pay his own lawyer. I think that's the commercial side. But in terms of the legal side, if he hires his own lawyer, has he done something wrong? I think that's another part of the argument. But people are publishing this tonight because Speaker Bagbin, as it's turning out, is suing, and they suspect that he's going to use a private lawyer. So John Dramani Mahama is heating up his campaign, the former president. He's just put 5 questions out asking the vice president to do something. Have a look at the video.
He posed 170 questions to my vice president, Emisata. He should go and answer the 170 questions himself. Indeed, he shouldn't answer 170 questions. He should answer only 3 questions. 3. Why is the exchange rate 17 cedis to the dollar? Question 1. Exam, he should come and write. Ezu. Why has Ghana's debt risen from 120 billion to 767 billion in 8 years? Question 2, he should come and answer. Question 3, why is inflation where it is? Why did it rise to 54% under your administration for 8 years? And then let me add 2 more. Question 4, why did you borrow 42 billion cedis from the Bank of Ghana? Why did you borrow 42 billion cedis from the Bank of Ghana? He should come and answer those questions. We don't need 170 questions. 170, if he wants, he can answer them himself. But Ghanaians are asking him 4 questions. He should come and answer those 4 questions and explain to Ghanaians why we are where we are. The last question is, why has he run away from the economy to digitalization? He used to do big about economy. Today he can't mention economy. It's not in his vocabulary. Anytime he opens his mouth, digitalization. Come and talk about the economy. That's question 5. 5 questions. Tell him. He should come and answer them.
Sayo. President John Dramani Mahama says that Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia here must answer those questions. I mean, I can answer some of those questions. Why is inflation 54% in 2020? It's because COVID and Ukraine and Russia. COVID and Russia. Should I say louder? COVID and Russia-Ukraine war. Okay, all right. But Dr. Bawumia has an answer for him. From what I'm hearing from Bawumia people tonight, Bawumia's campaign tonight is telling me that tell John Mahama, I called, I said, Charlie, I ask questions for you. He says, go and answer. I said, tell him that if you want answers, debate me. That's strong, isn't it? The campaign is charging. He says, answer these 5 questions. Dr. Bawumia says, come to the debate. You are saying you won't come to debate. Come to stand in front of me at debate and say, hey, I'm here, you are here. You, Dr. Bawumia, why is the inflation? Yeah, that's simple. Because now Dr. Bawumia is going to answer on a rally platform. Then John Mahama will also ask another question on another platform. Then Dr. Bawumia will go to Bimbila and answer the question. Then Dr. Mahama will be in a Jusu and ask another question. Then Dr. Bawumia will go to Kaswa and answer that question. Then John Mahama will be in Brekum and ask another question. Then Dr. Bawumia will go to Kwetoy and stand there in Adudome and answer that question. Then John Mahama will go to Enche in the Western region and ask another question. We don't want that. We want the 2 of them, one standing here, one standing here. IEA debate live on television. 25 million Ghanaian voters are watching. John Mahama has a question. Question 1, you, Bawumia, then that's what we want. Viewers, support me. Send a text to the video. Say yes, yes, yes. Presidential debate. So you have 5 questions to ask the vice president. Vice president, show up at the debate. Because you can't say you are running away from the debate and you're asking the man questions from far away. You are moving away from the debate stage. Every day you are shifting away and asking questions from far away. No, show up at the debate. Come to the debate. Let's deal with it. Let's see an example of how debate works. If we have forgotten, this is how debate works. Have a look.
Solid evidence that the people of this country have a very clear choice to make on December the 7th. From the NDC, we've heard again many of the same familiar campaign promises which we heard 4 years ago. And they've now packaged them as fantasy and are trying to sell it to us as reality. Fantasy. 4 years ago, they said they would bring unemployment down to the barest minimum, of petrol and LPG at much higher prices. Lead a team of committed, dedicated men and women who are ready to take on the challenge of transforming the economy.
Now we go to NDC.
Thank you very much.
Including comments, please.
Thank you very much. I want to first and foremost thank the IEA for this opportunity it's given to Ghanaians to get to know who the persons who want to lead this country are. An economy that was in deficit. Indeed, the MPP were very relieved. See, in 3 years, it has laid the kind of that it takes to open the opportunities of this country to all Ghanaians.
Actually, now we can all applaud the candidates.
Let's give our candidates a round of applause.
Please say we are not. Okay.
So that's debate, viewers. That's debate. You know, Akufo-Addo speaks, John Mahama speaks. So it looks like John Mahama has brought the debate on, and we are excited because we all want to see a debate, don't we? President Mahama says, I have 5 questions for you. He says, come to the debate. Come, show up at the debate. Me and you, all Ghana is watching. Let's deal with it, isn't it? All right, let's take it. We have another story. Yeah, we have another story. Oh, well, that's my favorite story. Tonight we won't do the book. We'll do the book on Thursday. I just told Africa. I was very disappointed because we are prepared well for it. But the production is there. We'll do it on Thursday. And on Thursday, I have copies of the book to show you, so that is better, isn't it? Alan Chematin called me to be his running mate. Oliver Vomaho Mause Baka, lawyer, activist. That's what he told Bolare on Star FM. That's the most. I know it's not true. Viewers, you think it is true? Me, I know it's not true. You will think it is true if you don't know Alan Chematin. But those of us who know Alan Chematin and know how meticulous he is, he will never, ever, ever select Oliver Vom. It's not true. This thing Oliver is saying, it is not true. Alan Chematin did not select him as a running mate. Alan Chematin will not do that. He will never select Oliver as his running mate. He won't do that. He will not do that. He knows what Oliver is made of, and he knows what he's looking for. And those who know him a little bit know what Alan is looking for. What Alan represents and what Oliver represents is at cross purposes. Alan Chematin will never ask Oliver Vomaho to be his running mate. This story that Oliver told Bolare, it is untrue. Oliver published on his Facebook page, and it was sensational because he announced that he was going to publish it, and it became quite sensational. He says he has a tape recording. You know, these people, they're always recording something. He has a tape recording of his conversation with Albert Kandapaa, the Minister for National Security. What's the time now? Let's see. Okay, yeah, we have time to play. Now, he says that that recording is supposed to indicate that Kandapaa, the Honorable Minister for Security, and as he then was Minister for Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, were trying to influence him with money during the time that he was very popular and people trusted him. Now people don't trust him anymore. But at that time, people trusted him when you're talking about fix the country. And there were so many potholes, the roads were bad. Over the last year and a half, many of the roads have improved. But at that time, the roads were terrible and all that. So people trusted him a little bit. And he had met the Minister of Finance with his team, young people saying, fix the country. So everybody thought, Then when he started the megalomania and started calling himself Osajefo, and his own friends at Joy FM had the conversation, I was listening, and they were talking about how he's calling himself Osajefo. And once he lost the friendship with his people at Joy FM and other places, then everybody started seeing the real character of who he is. And once we found out that he has been using different names, that he has worked at Foreign Affairs, he used to work in Romana Tugube's office for John Mahama, then everybody knew that this guy is not what he thinks, what he says he is. Now, in trying to fight back for that credibility of people trusting him, he publishes a tape on his Facebook social media page where he says, this is a recording of my phone conversation with Albert Kandapaa. And in that conversation, Kandapaa was trying to bribe me. It's 8 minutes long. I'm sorry, it's a bit long. I thought it was 5. It's 8 minutes long. Viewers, after the 8 minutes, tell me whether this means Kandapaa was bribing him. Listen to Oliver and Kandapaa in a secretly recorded videotape.
No, I mean, I think that, and this is one of the things which is important for both of us to stress, that the only way this can work is through a process of conversation, that we understand that the interests are shared. I mean, the question of how we deal with the youth problem is something that unites so many people, you know, and I don't think that this is something that's it's necessarily opposed to or against government or per se, as you have appreciated that the conversations that is going on, people don't want to engage within a party-based framework. And we want to remove the conversation from that sense, you know. If there's been any frustration, it's just been in the initial responses, I guess. But I think we can reset and get somewhere on that.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Now, substantively, it's about how we do that.
Okay.
You know, and I think, you know, perhaps maybe there has been a bit of misunderstanding between us because it is important that even as we engage, there's a sense of legitimacy to what we engage in. And I was saying that, especially with the first meeting, what was going on around is that there was secret and underhand dealings that we didn't want to communicate what had been talked about in the meeting. And you know, in the way in which you communicate with various people who have anxieties and a long sense of distrust, it is important that they feel a sense that, no, you are in their camp. And that's how a lot of those conversations have gone in that direction. So I hope we can put some structure down about that engagement process.
Okay.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned now, I think the immediate thing is for me to come to Ghana. And how we make that work.
Okay.
So this is where I hand over to you.
Okay, let me put it this way.
Yeah.
You can have my way for it. Your friend, the general, can also be the witness. There is no way that the security agencies will do anything to you if you come to Ghana at all. You can rest assured that will never be our intention. I will never do that.
Yeah.
Number two, quietly between the two of us, I should have no difficulty facilitating your trip.
Yeah.
In terms of logistics for you to be able to come down. And we can start talking. Probably the two of us can talk later. I will want my colleague, the Minister of Finance alone, to join me, and some of your colleagues can also join you.
Okay.
And can have series of conversations when we get to the point where we think we should make it public or we think we should enlarge it. We will then go from there.
Okay. In terms of the logistics of my coming itself, I mean, I appreciate the offer, but I think I would handle that. On my end.
No problem.
But I also wanted to have a sense, perhaps, of initial scheduling, and in terms of the schedule of meetings we were thinking about, because I think I could be in Ghana by Thursday.
Okay. we can have a first meeting on